In today's class, I'm going to be showing you how you can use SPCK Editor to code. Some of you using iPhones, using iOS, you find out that you cannot get Edit from the App Store, so you have to install SPCK Editor. But how do you go about using it? That's what we're doing today. So this is SPCK Editor, and when you enter, you find some projects that are already there. These are actually the projects that I created myself. But in a case where, let me open the project. So this is a project that you're going to see when you newly open your SPCK Editor. So the first thing that you have to do is to create your own project. So you work in your project space. Don't just start working from this particular workspace. You need to create your own project and start working with that project. So to create your own project, you see this icon here. You just have to go there and you create projects. So, and the project I want to create, the framework I'm using is the template I'm using is going to be HTML. Come in. So I select this template, HTML. I'm using HTML because it's HTML, CSS, and JavaScript for simple HTML web page. You can see it right here. So I just put the project name. Let me say the project name will be let me say tutorial. So yes, I've created a project. And one thing about SPCK Editor is that once you create HTML templates kind of web page projects, it's going to give you your best HTML file, your JS, and your style file. So this style.css is literally your external CSS, but we're yet to start talking about external CSS. So when you're working on bigger projects, you will want to use external CSS instead of the inline CSS that we'll be doing with the style attributes. So this is the index.html. One thing about SPCK Editor is that it already has the HTML boilerplate for you. A lot of things has already been done for you. So you see you have the body section. The body section is showing you that okay, this is where you are supposed to write things that you want to put. So you know you're supposed to write things out. If you play this particular, you use this play button to check your code. So if you play it now, you see okay, it's showing nothing to see here. That means you know that anything that you want to be shown here will have to be on that particular place. You get. So yeah, so we're back to this place. This is not what we want to do. What we want to do is probably just write something. Let's say want to put our name or something, so I can see um Media Nelson. So this is something now there. Then apart from that, I could do other things. I could use the heading tag and all everything that I've been talking about in this training. The heading tag, heading one, I can see my name. So if you view it now, you notice that okay, Nelson and my name, they're having different things. So like I said before, you just have to go through this, then go through your W3 school and learn more about HTML tags and experiment with them. What I'm basically going to be showing you here is how to work the basic things in this particular um, application. So the next thing is uploading images to your web page. A lot of you find it difficult to upload images to your web page. So that's why I'll be covering that as well in this introduction video. So if you want to upload or you want to create something new, you see this plus button here. That's what you just have to click. So I can click this plus button and create a new file. If I want to like create another HTML file, another CSS file, that's what I would do. But if I want to upload my image, I can come here and say import files. Import files. This was where I clicked these three dots here. So I'm importing it directly to this project. So if I want to import the file, I'll just import that file. Okay, I think I had some images before. Yeah, so let me import this file. So you now you see the image is here. Then you can decide to rename the image. To rename the image, you just need to click here and you see rename. But I'm already okay with the name of the image, so I would not be renaming the image. Then if you want to display an image, you have to use the image tag, and the image tag is img, then click enter. So the image tag has basically two attributes that you can make use of. The slc attribute is what you use to specify the source of the image that you want to display, while the alt attribute is alternative text. It is the text that is going to show in case your image doesn't load, because there can be some scenarios whereby your image will not load, but you want something to show. You don't just want the page to be blank. That's what you put there. So the text can be something a bit related to the image that was supposed to show. But in our case now, we have an image that is in the root folder. When I mean root folder, I mean the same line as where my index.html is. So because it is at the root folder with my index.html file, or with the HTML file that it is being linked to, I will just have to put the name of the image there in the SLC for it to display. So if I have Nelson, so if I have Nelson.jpg as a path, you saw that is called a path. The path of the image is Nelson.jpg. If I have it there and I click play, you see the image is going to be displayed here. As you can see, the image is here now, but the image is so big, and that is why we started using a different attribute as well for the image. So when you clearly had your image, you are not putting any style yet, you could decide to simply use what we call the width attribute. So this width attribute will allow you to resize the image. I could decide to resize the image using 20%. Remember I told you we have different units that you could use for measurements in HTML. You can use percentage, you can use pixels, you can use points. There are others. You just have to like search and learn more about it. It's not everything that we'll be covering in the videos. So actually going out to research more about these things is actually going to help you a lot. So yeah, we see the image now is looking smaller. Another concept that we covered that some persons are still having issues with is how to link an image that is in a folder. So I'll quickly show you guys how you do that. Simply put, let's take for example we have a folder. So let me create a folder now, and the folder is images. Now this folder, anything that I'm going to have inside this folder is not in the same line with index.html. Instead, it is in the same line with, it is inside images, and it is images that is in the same line or in the root folder. You get? Let me put an image there so you'll see. So let me probably cut and paste it here. So I've removed that image now. I just like the way SPCK Editor is doing it. So if you look at it very well, this is the first line, and if you check, the image is not in this first line, rather the image is in this second line, which means it has some parental or it has some differences, some hierarchy, you get. So it's inside the images. So if you look at it, we have just one line now. When you're having one line, it means everything here is in the same root folder with index.html. But when you're having two lines, it means this one here is in a folder And what folder is it in? Images. So for me to display nelson.jpg, I will not just put src nelson.jpg because it's not going to work. If you play this particular thing now, you see nothing is showing, and there was no text showing because I did not even put alternate text. So let me say, in case my image doesn't show, I want my image to show as my alternative text. So you see the image is not loading, that's why this alt is showing here. Then how do I make this image show? How do I make it show? I will have to specify the folder, the root folder that is coming from. To specify a folder in your path, in whatever you are linking, you just need to do the images then forward slash. So I will have something like images then a forward slash. So this shows that it is coming from a folder images, and what is inside that folder is nelson.jpg. So this is how you link an image that is inside a folder. You need to make sure that whatever you are linking, you check the tree that they are coming from, like they are the folder that they are in. If they are inside another folder, in that folder, you will have to like specify it until you get to the image itself. So for example, let me just play this so you know that it's working. Yeah, so it's working. So for example, let's say that we have, after images, you have another folder called good good or bad images. So if you have another folder called good under images, you now have good slash. So let's take for example, I have images, I have good, then I have another folder again, and say bad. So the more folders you have, you just have to keep on anything that any way that you are specifying a folder is a forward slash that you are using, you get. So that's basically it for displaying images. Now that we've been able to display image, the very last thing that you do that we'll do in this video is using the a tag to link from one web page to another web page, or to actually link to your social media accounts. So the a tag is the anchor tag, and it has the href attribute, which is hypertext reference. So this href attribute is used to specify a directory, a link that you would want to go to. It's more like you are creating an hypertext. So where you are actually putting your link in this place, you have to put a text here that will be displayed. So in between the opening in between the opening and the closing tag of our anchor tag, this is it, that which is the a tag, you will have a text that you want to display. So what text do I want to display? Let me take for example, I want to display click me. I am very sure you must have seen an hypertext like this, click me. So when they click it, where do I want it to go to? Currently I don't have any other HTML page, so I'm going to create another HTML page. So just come here, you create new file. So I create a new file now, and I have um new.html. Remember in our classes we said that you just have to have one index.html file in your workspace. That index.html file tells your browser the first HTML page that it should load, the first file that it should load in your work. That's why you always need to have your index.html whenever you are coding. So I have new.html here. If I open my new.html, I'll be able to create something new. So when I enter into it, you'll be able to see the other page that is actually there. So I have, let me say I just want to display an heading here that says Edumedia. So if I want to link this particular page, I will just put new.html because that's the path, that's the directory to that listing. Why is it just new.html? Why am I not having a forward slash? Because it's not in any folder. it is in the same line with my index.html and or with the HTML file that I am using it for. So I'll just have new.html and this should work perfectly. So I have a click me here. So if I click it, it should take me to the second page. So that is basically it, how to use the image and the anchor tag in SPCK Editor. I believe that with this video you will have been able to answer most of your questions, most especially those of you using iOS that is like, oh, we've not been using the SPCK Editor and all, we've been using only Web Edit, Visual Studio Code. I really do hope that this video helps you in understanding these basic concepts. So if there are other things that you're having issues with that you would want me to do a video on, you could just comment it in this video. Just drop a comment on this video and I will try as much as possible to do that video to help you understand these basic concepts better. Thank you, and I remain Nelson Edu, founder Edu-Champs.